Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Rillaboom. Rillaboom is awesome, and he did get his hidden ability along with the Cinderace and Inteleon with the most recent update today on June 2nd. So this is really awesome, and it really changes him. He was already pretty cool before, but now he's going to be even better. So let's go ahead and take a look at his stats, and he's going to boast some really nice stats, actually. He's got decent bulk. I mean, look at his HP. It's at 100. His defense is at 90. His special defense is 70, so nothing crazy good there. But that HP and defense is quite nice, especially when you pair it with his attack at 125. That is a really good attack stat, which means there's a lot of things that we're going to be able to do with this Pokemon, especially now with his hidden ability. Special attack 60, speed is 85, so nothing to laugh at there. That's not a bad speed. He's not going to outspeed a Charizard or a Cinderace, so some big threats that could hurt him, he's not going to outspeed. However, he does have some tricks in his pocket that he will use to overcome those Pokemon. So previous to June 2nd, the only ability that Rillaboom had access to was going to be Overgrow. Now Overgrow is going to go ahead and boost a grass type move by 50% when the user has less or equal to 1/3 of its maximum HP. So you've got to take a ton of damage before this actually kind of kicks in and starts working. However, after today, after June 2nd, he now has the ability, his hidden ability, Grassy Surge. Now, Grassy Surge is really going to be cool for him, especially with some of the new tutor moves, and we're going to get into that a little bit later, that are coming out in the DLC on the 17th. But for Grassy Surge, it's when a Pokemon with Grassy Surge enters the battle, it creates the effect of grassy terrain on the battlefield. So if you're not familiar with terrains, grassy terrain is going to envelop the field and replace the background environment and any other terrain that's already in effect. And this is going to end after 5 turns unless you're holding some kind of a terrain extender. Now, the nice thing is, you are going to get a little bit of HP on all Pokemon on the field, including the enemy side. 1/16 of its maximum HP is going to go back to that Pokemon at the end of each turn, but it's going to boost the attack of grass-type moves by 50%. So that's really nice. Another added bonus is moves such as Earthquake, Bulldoze, Magnitude, things of those nature are actually going to reduce the damage taken by 50%. So the damage is going to be halved for those moves, even if the user is not grounded. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice little bonus there. Definitely something to think about while you're coming up with your builds. So Rillaboom is going to house some resistance. He's going to be 50% resistant to ground, water, electric, and grass type Pokemons. This is nice because we see a lot of ground, a lot of water, and some grass and some electric peeking around, but ground and water are definitely fairly predominant right now, along with a few other typings, so this is nice to have these resistances. On the other side of the coin, Rillaboom does have some weaknesses, and unfortunately for him, he has more weaknesses than he does have resistances. So his weaknesses are going to be flying, fire, poison, ice, and bug, and these are going to be 2 times weaknesses. Now, we're not seeing like a crazy amount of bugs being used. You get some Durants here and there. As far as poison, you do see some poisons, and this is definitely something you want to look at, especially with the DLC coming out in something like the Galarian Slowbro, for example, who's now a poison psychic type. That could definitely be a threat, but pay more attention to the fire typings. Fire typing is a typing that is fairly predominant right now, especially with Libero Cinderace is going to pop up. Those are going to be a big part of the Pokemon community versus and ranked modes. So just keep an eye on those and just know what his weaknesses are. Hey guys, if this video is helping you or you're liking it, please feel free to drop a like or subscribe. Definitely helps the channel out. And stop by the Twitch channel where we stream Pokemon Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do lay some other games in, but mostly we're doing egg locks, raid locks, shiny hunting, and battles. So if you feel like coming by, we'd love to see you. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into this Gmax Rillaboom. So going into the Isle of Armor, we will have the ability to Gmax our Rillaboom. So he's going to go ahead and get his Gmax Drum Solo. This is going to be more powerful than other max moves, and it's going to ignore any effects of the target's ability. So for example, if you put a ground move like High Horsepower on him, and you're in your Gmax and you have the ability to do a Max Quake, and you are fighting a Rotom that has Levitate, you will be able to ignore the Levitate and hit that Rotom with a super effective hit. Same thing with Mimikyu. You will be able to ignore Mimikyu's disguise ability, being able to drop that Mimikyu in the turn that it would normally Swords Dance to set up. So this is a really cool ability, and I think it's going to really help him out a lot, especially considering it's also more powerful than the other max moves. So this is really exciting and something I'm really looking forward to and seeing how it's going to be used. Okay, so let's get into the meat and look at some of these builds that we got going on here. So the first move set that we're going to use is going to be an offensive set, but that also has a little bit of bulk into it, so it's not going to be a straight offense. You're not going to be putting it all into two different stats. We're going to spread it out a little bit. So the EV spread is going to be 252 attack. We're going to max that sucker out because that's going to make him hit just stupid hard. And then we're going to give him some HP. We're going to give him 200 EVs into HP, 50 into defense, and then speed 8. Now, 8 isn't anything crazy. This is just so he outspeeds anything that does have the same speed tier as him. He's still not going to outspeed something like an Excadrill, but this is going to allow him to kind of get the edge on a few other Pokemon, and it's not going to really sacrifice anything else in the attack or the defense range or anything there. So we've got 252 in attack, 200 in HP, 50 defense, and 8 into speed. Now, if we're looking at the item, you can rock a couple different things. You can either do a weakness policy or a life orb. There's a couple other options out there as well, but this is really nice. I did some calculations on it earlier, and weakness policy, when it pops, absolutely will just make this Pokemon decimate. I mean, he's going to be taking down Tyrannitars, Labrases. Nothing is going to be able to survive with his super effective hits. Especially if he's on his grassy terrain with his Grassy Surge. He's getting stab bonus with his attacks, so this is really going to wreck. And Life Orb is always good because you always get that consistent bonus no matter what, and it's not situational. You don't have to worry about something hitting you to prop the weakness policy, and so on and so forth. As far as the move set, now again, this is an offensive build. We're going to be rocking Darkest Lariat, Grassy Glide, Fake Out, and High Horsepower. Now, I do want to mention Grassy Glide is not out yet. This is a new tutor move for the DLC, for the Isle of Armor. So until that DLC comes out, you may want to rock something like a Drum Beating, which has a negative to speed when you hit somebody. You drop their speed by 1. So you may want to rock something like that, or another grass type move. Just make sure it's a physical move, but you might want to do that in the meantime, and then when the DLC comes out, throw that Grassy Glide on there. Now, we don't know what its damage is going to be, but I do know that it is going to have priority on grassy terrain. So his Grassy Surge being set up is going to give this move priority, which is going to be really cool. Now, I was debating with some other battlers that are in Master Rank earlier today, and we were going back and forth on what we think the damage is going to be for this. It's most likely going to be in the 80 to 90 range. I think it could be up to 110, but it is most likely to be at that 80 to 90. Now, you're still going to get stab bonus, you're still going to get your grassy terrain bonus, plus your item bonus, whether it's weakness policy or life orb. So you've got a lot of damage that can come out of this, especially because it's a priority move. That is going to be really cool, really awesome, and it's going to really change the game for this. Even though he's not the fastest Pokemon, he's going to be able to do that first hit. Now, when we look at the other moves, Fake Out, obviously, you can only use it the one turn you come out, the first turn you come out, but it's going to, flinch in that first turn, so that's super awesome. Always helpful, always beneficial, good thing to have. Darkest Lariat on this move set because it's going to ignore any stat changes on your opponent, and it's going to do good damage. I mean, with his attack stat, that's going to really hurt. High Horsepower is going to give you that coverage with ground, and it's a 95 power damage move, so it's going to be hitting really hard, especially if you get that weakness policy pop. So this is a good coverage set here, and I stand by this. It's done pretty well for me today. Again, not Grassy Glide. I've been using Drum Beating, but other than that, it's been doing very well for me. I was playing with him today with his Grassy Surge, and this did great. This did great for me. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at a bulky set. Now, this set is actually a set that we got from Ali, who is our battle mod for our channel, our Twitch channel. And this is a pretty cool set. I mean, he's already pretty bulky in general. Even the last set had some bulk to it, but this set's definitely going to have even more. So let's take a look at it. It's attack. We're going to put 160 EVs into it. HP 116. Defense 156. Special defense 76. And then we're going to bolster that special defense by adding an assault vest on there as well. So he's going to be super tanky. He's going to really be able to eat a lot of damage and then still do a ton of damage on his own. Now, as far as the nature, we're going to be looking at careful because we want to increase as much defensive property as possible. So careful is the way to go here. And as far as his ability, we're going to be looking at Grassy Surge still. this is by far his better ability, so we're going to be utilizing that as much as we can. Now, as far as the moves, we're going to be looking at Knockoff this time instead of Darkest Lariat. Since we are making this more of a wall-ish bulk type Pokemon, now we're going to be able to use Knockoff, still do decent damage, but get rid of things that are pesky like Eviolites or weakness policies or different berries on different Pokemon, leftovers, and so on. Drum beating, now we're going to use drum beating because this is going to lower the speed of our opposition, so we want to use drum beating to give little nerfs to our little debuffs to our enemies as much as possible, so that's nice. Fake out, same reason as before, just awesome skill to use. And then high horsepower, again, it's great coverage for ground, and with his Gmax ability, that Max Quake will be able to just pound anything that's like levitate or disguise. So all in all, like, he's a super cool Pokemon, and a bulky set is also really viable for him, so this is definitely something you can use. Guys, that's pretty much about it for Rillaboom. I mean, at the end of the day, Grassy Surge makes him much better than he already was. The Grassy Glide is going to be awesome in conjunction with the Grassy Surge, and then you add in his Gmax. I mean, this is a game changer for him. I mean, this is going to make him much more viable than he already was. I mean, he was decent before with his stat spread, but now he's actually going to be viable to be used, and I think we're going to start seeing him a lot in VGC and Ranked and Smogon and so on. So this is pretty cool. Guys, if this video was helpful for you, drop a like. Feel free to. If you feel like you have a better build and something you want to share, or a Rillaboom that you really like, please put it down in the comments. Let us know, or stop into the Discord, pop into the Twitch, whatever works for you. We'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see what's going on. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and until I talk to you guys again, take care, and I'll see you next time.